There is almost nothing so exciting, amazing, thrilling, keep us awake at night, gives us these goosebumps or butterflies like love. But on the other side, there's nothing more destructive and painful like bad relationships. Relationship is something which keeps us busy the whole time. Every day we're thinking about, when you're younger, maybe more, but even relationships, always we are in a relationship every day. If it's our family, if it's our spouse, if it's our girlfriend, boyfriend, we are always having this topic every day. On the other side, there are really less answer about this question. There are very less advices how we should have a good relationship. Yes, you can watch TV, you can watch the TV shows, you can watch the social network, and you can see how they're doing it. But the Bible is very clear in that. You can see at the fruits, the outcome. Do you want to have the same like the world? Do you look to the society and you think, I want to have the same? I see divorce, I see broken families, I see broken hearts, people are in dispute relationships, a lot of bad things happen. If you do want the same, follow their advice. Or we're going to look what is the creator of life talking about relationship. What is God talking about relationship? This is the series what we are right now. We want to look what is God's plan for having a good and healthy relationship. It's so important to understand that bad relationships can really destroy us. It's very important to look at the fruits. The answers we can get from God is very clear. God is love. God wants to have something good for us. And I think God says very clear in the 1 Corinthians 15:33, do not be fooled. Bad companions ruins good character. And it's not just about your spouse or your girl or boyfriend. It's also about your friends. If you have friends who have a bad influence on you, it can destroy your life. So relationship is very, very important. And this is the whole topic we have on this series. And it's a lot of things we're going to discover. And at this day, we have something special. Last week, we were talking about being a single for a season, for a reason. And how can we find the right person in our life? And today, we're going to dive into the topic of dating. Dating is something very, very important, and you should have enough time to do dating. So let's take a look how actually a good relationship, a model of a good relationship can look like, or should looks like. I have here this model. There you can see God is in the middle. It's not the partner. It's not the relationship is in the middle. This is not our God. No, we have a living God who is love. He should be the center, the foundation of our relationship. Okay, like we heard, we're going to start, everyone starts as a single. You come to earth as a single, of course. So then you are seeing someone, you think, oh, it's an interesting person, you start dating. Yeah? So you go here and here. So now you can see there are two arrows, so you can always go back. If you think you talk to this person, it's not a fit, you can still go back and it's okay. After dating, you go to an engagement. Engagement is something you are thinking about. How can it be? I want to spend my whole life with this person. I want to spend everything I have, my daily life, everything with this person. Then you go further, and then it's a big step actually, from engagement to marriage. And here, this arrow have just one arrow, one direction. If you're married, the goal is that you are promised to this person, yes, I want to be with you the whole life. I go with you through good things, through bad things. I'm deciding to spend my life with you because you are amazing. Then after this, you go to family. If you get a child, you have a child, you cannot go back, you have a child. And here is a big X. because this step here is not healthy. So this circle here looks like this is the relationship plan God has for us. This is a good plan for a relationship. There are no shortcuts. It's very important. You cannot go from single to marry. It's not, doesn't make sense. You don't know this person. You missed a lot of steps, actually. You cannot go from dating to family. Yes, a lot of people do that. But this is not healthy. This is not healthy. And I think God has a plan for us, and He knows exactly what is good for us. And sometimes we are in a hurry. Sometimes we are single since a long, long time. I skip the dating. Come on, let's go engage, marry, and that's it. It's not healthy. And I saw these kind of relationships, and they didn't make it to the end. They were divorced. They stopped being together because they didn't know each other. So this is a healthy model how we can have a good relationship. Maybe you know Friedrich Schiller. He's a poet, a writer, a philosopher, and also a doctor. And he said these wise words. So test therefore who join forever, if heart to heart be found together. Delusion is short, remorse is long. So he said, hey, this butterflies, this amazing feeling. Yes, it's amazing and it can endure time, but the butterflies will fly away. And if you decide too quickly for something, it can be that you wake up and think, oh my goodness, what did I done? It was not a wise decision. Time is very important. Time is very important. Today we're going to look exactly about dating, and it's so important that you spend enough time dating someone to know this person. It is very, very important. And we're also thinking about how we can pursue God and a relationship in the same time. And yes, God should be the center. God should be in the middle for a healthy relationship. And today, like I said, we have two amazing guests here, Hobson and Alini. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for this opportunity.
You're welcome. You are from Brazil, and
Yes.
the thing that I know from Brazil is they have an amazing soccer team. They have this Jesus statue. They have good food. I heard they get Amazon.
Yes.
So not the coffee, it's the forest, the big one.
Well, we have good coffee too.
And good coffee.
Yes, good coffee
so
in
it's
Brazil.
worth to go there, actually. Yes, thank you very much. Brazilian, Austrian in Cambodia for you today. And yes, let's go to the topic, God first. I think this is something which is the most important for every relationship, that we know which foundation are we build our relationship. So our goal is to seek Jesus first and to know how He loves. You know, God is a God of relationship, and He wants to tell us how we can have healthy relations. So we can read the Bible and you can see a lot of things which are going on, which we're going to look a little bit more as well. But God is the author of life, and He has good answers for our questions, also for relationship. The Bible says He is before all things, and in Him all things hold together. God holds everything together. God holds relationships together. Actually, He helps us to understand what is a good relationship. If you listen to God, if you surrender to God, if you obey God, He has good plans for us. And sometimes we think, I know exactly how it is. I know exactly how it works. But if you start listening to God, listen and think, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I have to change my view. This helps you to the relationship to God, but also in a relationship to a partner. So God can help us a lot in what does it mean to be in a good relationship. So God should be the foundation. God doesn't want us that we are in the middle. He said, not we should be in the center, not I am the king or I am the queen. He said, I want to be on the throne of your life, and I will guide you in the right direction. So when you are single, it's the perfect time to pursue God, to look God, to get to know more about God. It's the best time you have to spend time, you and God, and build this relationship that you can be strong and have a good foundation for a marriage or for the next person. You say, I want to have a date with this person. Because, you know, being a Christian, it's not a religion. It's more than just a hobby. For example, yes, I like to go to Brazil and I like to watch soccer, but my wife, she said, I don't like soccer. I just, I don't want to do something else. Okay, I go on Saturday evening, I go with my friends, go to the arena watching soccer, and my wife, she goes with some other girls making a craft workshop, something like this. So we can arrange. But being a Christian is much more, involves your whole life, your values, your daily life, your finances, everything. It involves everything. It's so important that you know this is not just something you can arrange. It's very important that you know this needs to be a foundation. And actually, I also experienced this in my personal life. I date people when I was not a Christian. I also dating girls, and it was completely different. It was not that special. It's yeah, like I saw like everybody do it like I did, and I thought it's okay. But at the end, there was no foundation at all because I thought that they can fill my hole. They can fill what I'm looking for. This relationship with this girl can fill me up, but it was a lie. At the end, I realized, she cannot give me what I need. But when I found Jesus, I saw that this hole in me could be filled and get filled by God, by His love. So I can go into a relationship completely different. And I met my wife I have now in this state. So she's a Christian as well. And we are happy, we are married. And yes, from my side, it's absolutely clear. God needs to be the foundation. Don't date someone who hates Jesus. It's simple, but it's true. It's important. The foundation is not the same. This house will not stand. It will break down. Let him or her go. And like Paul says it very, very clear in 2 Corinthians 6:14, do not try to work together as equals with unbelievers, for it cannot be done. How can right and wrong be partners? How can light and darkness live together? He said very clear, this is a no-go, it doesn't work. So, good advice, the author of life, listen to it. Now I have some questions for you. And my first one is, how do you meet each other and what was the thing which stood out, which makes you interested in each other?
Okay, even though we have a lot of many years ago, we met each other. But
how long are you married now?
We have been married for 16 years.
Wow, okay.
16 years. Yeah, it's a long time. And it was in a Sunday night. I was in my church. I was the worship leader.
Oh, wow.
In my church.
Come on.
And when I was singing on the stage, I just saw a new girl coming inside the church with her friend. So I thought, oh, interesting, a new girl. So I just saw her go in the back of the church. And I just asked my heart, like, maybe this girl can be the one that God chose for me. And after the service finished, I used to go and talk with who is new in the church because it was a very small church. So we knew everybody in the church, and we know she was new there. And I went there just to welcome and to introduce myself. And in that first moment that we start to talk, in that time, I had called the call by God to be a missionary. I want to be a missionary in that time. So when we start to talk, I know that she came in my city because she's from another city. So she came to study in a seminary. She was preparing herself to be a missionary too. So this like match a lot like with what I want to do in my life and who I want to meet and date and married one day. Yeah? Someone that has the same call as me. Yeah? So this was the point that, of course, she was very cheerful. She was very like, she likes to talk and she was like very friendly.
Still,
yeah. What?
Still.
Yeah, still. So, but like when she told me that the purpose of her life to be a missionary, to reach God, to seek God, and to become a missionary. So this make like the start in my heart.
So then you saw, okay, this is This
Yeah.
girl I want to date.
Yeah, this is like this is the first step, like
Yeah.
because when I try to find someone to date in that time when I was a single, of course the first thing is if this girl, she knows Jesus, she loves Jesus. So this was important. Was for me because I have this call to become a missionary. It's not too simple. It's not just someone that loves Jesus. Because I knew in that time, like many girls, like in my university, in my church, that love Jesus but don't have this call.
Yeah.
So I knew that was very important. Like someone has the same heart, the same purpose of life. So when she told me that she wants to become and she was preparing herself to be a missionary, so this was the point. Okay, so this is the first step that I can go farther.
Very good.
Yes.
So how long have you then been dating?
So we have been dating for 1 year and a half, with dating and engagement also.
Yeah, 1 year and a half.
Yeah.
Until you get
Dating
engaged.
and
Yes.
engagement.
Yeah.
But before this, we make a prayer commitment.
Yeah.
When we know each other, we start like each other, and we start to talk about dating, and okay, maybe we can talk about this, and
We were friends before,
Yes.
and then we start to like each other, and we had this commitment.
yeah, when we sit and said, okay, I like you and you like me, so maybe this can work. So we can. So what we because she lives in my city, and her parents live in another city, like almost 4 hours from my city.
Yeah.
So I didn't know her family. So we said, so we will make a prayer commitment. So we will pray for some time, like some month, until I can go in your house
Okay.
and meet your parents. So met your parents. So after 1 or 2 months praying, and we ask God for answer. So God, if this is your will, so if you want, if it's your plan, we date and we have this relationship. So answer from her parents.
So it was really God was your foundation. It was the thing
Yes.
which was the center, and you tried to build your
Yeah.
relationship around God.
Everything before I know her, this was very important. We have God as our foundation, Jesus as our guide us in our life, in my relationship, in my family. Everything that I want to build, I want to build with Jesus. So
Yeah.
Jesus is the most important thing in my life, and Jesus was the most important thing in her life. So, but now we want to know if it was the plan of God, like we be together. So
Yeah.
we ask God if He wants us to. He has this plan for us. When I went in her city, when we meet like her parents, they will agree. They
Yeah.
will say yes. So we know that this is an answer for
Oh,
us.
that's great. And what did you do during dating? Did you? I know that you prayed a lot. You told already. Did you make a commitment? But what did you do? Did you go out for coffee, or what did you do during this dating time?
We talk a lot together
Yeah.
to know each other more and to talk about the future, about the plans, because this is something very important for us, is to have the same purpose of life, because I had my call before to know him, and for him it's the same. So we talk a lot about this. And yes, of course, we watch movies together and do everything like the other couples normally do.
Yeah,
But
in Brazil we don't have coffees like here in Siem Reap. Like here
really?
it's very easy.
I usually
Just
it's a
hang
good
out
coffee.
and yeah,
now we
no.
have more. But
Yeah,
in
yeah.
that time,
Okay.
many years
Yeah,
ago.
maybe now I have more. But
Yeah.
it was interesting because in this time, like we spend a lot of time together. Because I start to study at this same seminary, so we were always together, and we talk a lot. I think this is something very important.
Yeah.
We must talk a lot and know each other and be like it's not just date, but be a friend, our best friend.
Yes,
So
this
Yes.
is something. We were a friend before, and he's my best friend, and I am his best friend.
Yeah.
And
Still.
this is, yes, still, and this is so important because I know some people, they love each other, but they don't know a lot each other, and this is not so good. They must know each
And
other.
Yes.
just to finish this part, in that time when we were dating, we talk about the future, about families, about kids, and in that time we know each other. We want to adopt. I have a heart to adopt, and she has the same heart. And now we have two daughters.
Yeah.
We have two Khmer daughters, and we have three daughters. Yeah, but
We have one biological one,
yes.
one biological daughter, and two Khmer daughters from our heart. So we have three girls.
Yes.
So this start many years ago when we were dating and knowing each other. So
Yes, and we know you as a family. You're a beautiful family.
thank you.
I'm really thankful for this story. It's very encouraging. And talking about dating, yes, it's true. Dating is an event. Dating is something. It's not a commitment. When you date someone, it doesn't mean, oh, I have a date, I need to marry. It's not. So commitment. It's not a commitment. It's more like an event. For example, if you go for a job interview, and you go there and the people ask you questions, they want to know you. They want to get to know, are you the right one for this job? Are you maybe somewhere else? So there's not just one interview, there are maybe more or three, there are some more steps. And then you get the probation. And sometimes they see, okay, it's not working out, so you are not the right person, and it's okay. So then you need to go. And dating have a clear goal. Dating have a very clear goal, and I have here 4 major goals for you. I want to explain a little bit. Character. Of course, you like you said, you saw her, and you know the person you need to find attractive. You know, he should not look like. So you want somebody who looks beautiful, of course, but this should not be the main focus, because beauty, you know, over the years, yeah, you change. And this is, you cannot build a relationship just about of beauty, but you can also build a relationship, for example, for character. A good character is very important because this stay. A hobby can change, you know, the interest maybe can change, but the character normally stay, and this is more important. Value, like you said, we want to have so much kids, and talk about values. What is important? What do you want? That you don't get disappointed at the end. It's very important. This is a time dating to find out are your values, what is your goals. Conflict ability, very important. How do you deal with conflicts? It's so important. Don't say, I don't have any conflicts. A relationship who have no conflicts, there is something wrong. Every relationship have conflicts. Even in the Bible, you can see the disciples have conflicts with each other. It's normal. But it's also very important to know how you can deal with conflicts. Are you like just punching each other, or you can also forgive and step back a little bit? This is so important. And if it doesn't work in a relationship, in dating, to deal with conflicts, how bad your marriage will be. It's very, very important. And the next one, willingness to learn. It's so important that you understand, for myself, but also the partner, are we willing to come closer to us, making compromises to come closer to each other. If someone said, no, this is me, this is very hard. But this is also very important, willingness to learn. And of course, Jesus should be the center. This is definitely what we heard from you as well. It's so amazing, and it's so important. God describes himself in this Bible verse. It's a typical marriage Bible verse. I really like this one. It's Corinthians 13:4-7. Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hope all things, endures all things. Wow, this is something, when I hear this verse, it's like, oh my goodness, there's so much work for me to do. But this is God, and God helps us to become a person who can do this. It's so important. I think God will show what is a good love, and he also wants us to change. And in this time of dating, one thing is very, very important. You said it's 1.5 years. Me and my wife, we date or were in a relationship for 3 years to know each other better. This is so important. Time is so important. Time is important. Take enough time because you will spend the whole life with this person. So it's very important that you take time for dating and to get to know each other more. A question for you again. How did you know that you were ready for a relationship?
I think as we are learning today, is dating for a reason. So why you want to start a relationship? So I think the first thing you must ask yourself, why? Is just for you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend? It's just for you put in your media, like in your Facebook, I have a new girlfriend and I'm so cool. And why you want to have this relationship? You are ready to have a serious relationship with someone. And I think when you know yourself and you start to know what you want for your future, like when I start to date Aline, I know already what I want to be. So I want to be a missionary. So I knew what kind of person, what values, what she must have to walk with me. So it was very important, like know me, know what I want for the future. If you don't know what you want to do in the future, so how you can start a relationship
Yeah.
because you don't know where you are going. So I think this is very important. Like you know yourself. Of course, you seek God. You have a relationship with God, and you must to know why you want to have this relationship,
Yep.
start this relationship, and where you want to go, where you want to reach. So we know in that time. Huh?
I think something important too is have a good examples. I had in my life, like my parents and my leaders, friends, and I read a lot of Christian books about relationship also that help us to, I don't know, to be prepared, but to be more prepared for this so important season of our lives. Yeah.
Thank you very much. One question is, I think this is interesting, especially for me. How do you deal with conflicts?
Of course, everybody have conflicts. This is normal.
Yes.
And I think for us, and we had this from Jesus, is always forgive and ask for forgive. And also talk. Like we know some people when they have conflict, they just leave. Don't talk about this. No, don't do like that. We
Yes.
always learn from the Bible, from God, from the Lord. We must talk, open our hearts, be sincere, and forgive each other. This is how we talk about this always.
Very good. Yes. I think this is very important. Like you said, deal with the conflicts. Don't try to push it away.
Because it's the easiest way, yeah? Just to hold and don't talk more about this. But if you don't resolve this problem, the problem is still there.
Still there,
It's still
yes.
inside. And something too small can start the conflict again. So we must talk. We must have this conversation. We must open our hearts. We cannot keep inside our hearts. So this, I think, is the most important thing in conflict, in about forgiveness.
Yes.
So because God is perfect, but we are not. We have problems. We must understand, like my wife, she's not perfect, but I am not perfect too. So when we have these conflicts, so we must understand that sometimes we are wrong and sometimes we are very proud of ourselves. Like we don't want lose this conflict.
Yes.
Sometimes we want to win this our argument, but it's not about win or lose. It's about like what is the truth and what is right. So we must follow what God and Jesus teach us to do and follow this. Like usually, like when we have some conflict, if you fight or have some say bad things, not bad words, but when we have this
You
conflict,
heard some.
yes, we hurt. I hurt her.
Yeah.
Like usually when we don't spend too much. Like usually in that day we will sit and we will pray and we will talk again. So we don't take this conversation too long.
For a long time. Yeah.
Yes. and hold. Yeah, so I think this is very important.
That's very important, and I think also this ability for conflicts, deal with conflict, it brings you closer as well because you know each other then more and more.
Yes.
And like I said, it's in the beginning maybe it looks like it's easy to put it away, but it's like you said, it comes up again, and it's then normally it's more worse than before, and you will not come together because there's no growth. So it's very important. Thank you very much. It's a very good one. At the end, I want to say also, you know, dating is a time where you know each other. For example, a job interview, you have a probation, and if it doesn't work, they will say, sorry, you're not for this position. You have other strength, but not for this one. The same is in a dating time. When you're in this dating time, you can see he or her, you doesn't fit together. Don't try to just keep it because you pity him or her. You think, oh, maybe I hurt this person. Don't do it. This is a lifetime decision. Really take your stand and say, I think we are not together as a married couple, but we can be friends. It's okay. It's okay to say no, and it's okay to say goodbye to someone. It's very important because this is where the arrows are. You can go back. When you're married, you made a decision for life, then it's getting really hard. You need to really be clear. Dating is a time to see if this is the right person. Do we have the same values, the same goals, the same belief? Spend time and take enough time in this. It's also important you can ask your friends. If you're not sure, ask your close friends, not your Facebook friends, ask your close friends. Hey, what do you think? Do you think we are fitting together? Ask God. And sometimes you have a feeling like there's something wrong. I don't know what it is, but it feels like it's not okay. Think about this and make wise decisions. It's really, really important. And also ask God for wisdom.
In our time, we ask for advice. Like for us, it's very important. This like when I know Aline, I came to my parents and I asked for the advice, what they think. And before we start to date, was very important. I as a man go in her house and ask for permission, and I think this we can honor our parents.
Yes.
And someone close that we
Yes.
trust. Like you said, don't put on Facebook, because usually we saw here some people just put every conflict on Facebook, on internet. Don't open this for everybody. You must
Yes.
keep this for someone that you trust, someone that you know that you can lead you for the right answer
Yes.
and in the right way. So yes.
Someone you can trust.
Yes,
You
yes.
know they want something good for you.
Experience and has
Yes.
experience.
And a life with Jesus, someone that have a life with God, have
Yes, of course,
God's
yeah. The
wisdom.
same values as
Don't
well.
ask for anyone.
Yeah. And you also can see if there are not good fruits coming out, then you sometimes have to cut the branch and take a step, even if it costs and even if it's not easy. But it's better to make it then at this time than everything is already settled. At the end, do you have any advice for single people? You wanna say this is very important?
I think it's everything that we are talking until now. It's about seeking God, and it's because everything that we're talking about is about relationship. But our first relationship is with God. I think when we have a life with God, when we walk with God, God will lead us in everything. If we have a sincere heart, because sometimes we know God, we know God, we love God, but we want to take our own decisions.
Yeah.
We don't have the heart to listen God. So we must be prepared to listen God. Sometimes God say, no, this is not the person. So it's better you just let go, because it will be better for your life. God always has the best decisions, the best plans for our lives. And I think is like before we start date, it's good you have time to be a friend before. You can take this time to pray together and talk together and know each other before we start date, because it's difficult when we start date and we must break our relationship. Is like you be hurt and you hurt someone else. So before we start date, I think is a good. Yeah, it's something
For
good.
someone is single, and sometimes maybe someone think God really think about this. This is important to him, like who I will marry with.
Yes.
our date. And yes, this is very important. God is preparing someone for you. Just trust and believe in Him, and God will write a beautiful story for you. Just believe. Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. Yes, I think we said quite a lot today about dating. Just to summarize shortly, Jesus first, God in the center. It's very important. Date someone who inspires, encourages you, have the same values. Like you are friends before. You feel there's something going on. The same belief is very important. The same goals, same values, the same. And it's okay also to just be friends. And I just want to pray right now. And like you said, God have a good plan for you. God have something prepared for you. And I also want to encourage you to make bold decisions. Maybe you need to let go. Maybe you need to say, okay, no, I know this is not good. Then I really want to encourage you, make this step. But also be open. Be open for someone. Be open. Go out and say, if you are single, believe that God have a plan. God have somebody for you. And Jesus, thank you that you are the God who shows us that relationship is so important, Lord. You gave everything for us that we can have a relationship to you, God. We can talk to you. You talk to us, Lord. It's a living relationship to you, God. And yes, we're going to believe and speak right now out to these people outside there who are single or dating, that you speak to them. Give them wisdom, Lord. Speak to them, Lord. Give them a decision, Lord. Show them what is right, what is wrong. But let them also be bold to make decisions for their lives, Lord. And yes, God, you are the God who is in control. You're the God of a good plan, Lord, and we give it into your hand. In Jesus' name we're going to pray. Amen.